Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. We're looking at Psalm 82. Psalm 82 written by Asaph at a time that we're not sure, but we know he wrote this psalm as a warning, as a message to the unjust judges of the earth. You know, years ago, I can remember when I began taking trips overseas, especially to third world countries on missionary trips, that I would ask people, what is the biggest problem that you have in your country? What do you think the biggest problem is? And they would almost without hesitation very quickly answer, corruption. People in power are corrupt. They take bribes, and if you want anything done, you have to pay a bribe to the policeman or to the law officers or to the judges or to the government officials to get anything through. You have to pay a bribe. Unjust people in high positions of government. And we thought that was just a problem overseas. But now it appears that as we have left the foundations of God's truth and God's word, and we have neglected to put God first in our lives and in our public life and in our government and country, well, the foundations are shaken. And that's what we're going to see in this passage in Psalm 82. Asaph has first a word to remind us that God is the judge. In verse 1, God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. Don't forget that. God is standing. He is alert. He knows what's going on. And then God speaks in the next 6 verses, verses 2 through 7. And God says, how long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? So he's speaking to judges. They're judging unjustly. And they show partiality to people that are bad. In other words, they honor that which is evil and bad, and they destroy that or put down that which is good. Sounds like Isaiah the prophet and Jeremiah, who said it would come a day when people will call good evil and call evil good, in Selah. And then he says, verse 3, your job is to defend the poor and the fatherless, to do justice to the afflicted and the needy, and to deliver the poor and the needy, and to free them from the hand of the wicked. And then it's verse 5, it seems like God is speaking to maybe the people that are the poor and the needy. They, the poor and the needy, they do not know, nor do they understand. They walk about in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are unstable. In other words, when the people, the common people, the people of the earth do not know the law of God, do not know who God is. Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They're ignorant of God's law, and as a result, they have no idea how to stand on their own 2 feet and how to defend themselves and how to make sure they have just judges. They do not know. And then all the foundations of society are unstable. And if the foundations are destroyed, Psalm 11, what can the righteous do? It becomes a terrible time of chaos and anarchy. It becomes a time when you have unjust judges taking bribes. And then God continues to speak and says to the judges, I said, you are gods. In other words, you are people who are supposed to represent me. You stand in places of authority and should be representing me, but you will die like men and fall like one of the princes. And then at the very last verse, we have Asaph speaking again, and he cries out in prayer, arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all nations. And that is a prophetic prayer, and we know it'll be answered in the tribulation period when God will arise with judgment in his wings, righteousness in his wings, and he will arise and bring judgment to all the nations of the earth. And all the nations will stand before him one day, and every judge will stand before him one day at the great white throne judgment and give an account. And we know God has the final word. But this is a word of warning. It's a word message. It's a word for us to know the truth of God's word so we can stand and do what's even right today despite what's going on around us. Well, God bless you. I trust Psalm 82 has been an encouragement, help, and given you understanding of the days in which we even live today. God bless. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.